Hey, what's up guys? I'm Alex Brown and welcome to today's video. Today I'm taking a look at the Shure BLX4R rack mountable bass for wireless microphones. The BLX1 body pack with applicable microphones, but primarily just the wireless system, and the BLX handheld system. I personally have the PG series handheld microphones. I have 3 of them. Unfortunately, I don't have the actual mic to show you. We're going to be using an SM58 as a prop today instead of the PG. This bass is different and slightly more expensive than its cheaper model, which is the BLX4. And you'll notice that there's a very obvious difference in the look. I don't have a BLX4. However, my high school that I went to had 10 of them, so I've worked with them, I know how they work, I know how the signal carries from them and all that kind of stuff, so I'm going to be comparing the two today. All these BLX1 accessories are the same to be paired with the BLX4R or the BLX4. Let's talk about the functionality. First thing is on the back. The connections are the same, but there's a big difference. This bass has well, actually they're BNC plugs, but they're for antennas, so it's the same as like the end of an SDI cable, but they're for antennas. So the antennas come off, there's 2 antennas, and they're external. And the reason this is important is the original BLX4, not the R series. The R series is rack mountable. I believe there's a $50 price difference in the mat price, but the antenna is built into the case, so there's no external antenna. It's actually like built into the case, the plastic casing. Another notable difference is that this is a metal case on this, and the regular BLX4 has a plastic case. That I'm not so concerned about, honestly. What really concerns me is the antennas, because the reception and quality that comes out of this mic base compared to the BLX4 non-R series is so far different. Because these have the BNC antenna connectors, you actually can upgrade and get a antenna power distribution rack mount kit thing, and attach shark fins to these with an antenna power distribution rig, or just use the power distro. While you can purchase a BLX4 and then upgrade to a 4R later and use all the same peripherals, like a mic or a body pack, I would honestly recommend just going straight with the BLX4R. Now recently I picked up another bass used on Facebook. It was basically brand new. And I also picked up 2 body packs and 1 lav mic. And when I was doing this, I considered picking up a higher end Shure model, but in my usage of these, I determined that I don't need anything bigger than this. Now, if you don't know, I DJ, obviously, but I also do event productions, and I've done things for my state, I've done things for colleges, churches in the big city closest to me, which is Boston, that have large productions that they rent a large venue for. And I actually just did one on Sunday and used these mics. And I was a little bit scared because I've used these body packs before on shows with the regular BLX4 receiver. We had a lot of cutting out. From the stage to the front house was probably 100 feet, maybe 150 feet, and they had some serious issues. Now, we were using 10 mics, they were all put on the right channels, and we did have some issues, so I was a little bit nervous about using these. And I can say that when you pair the BLX1 body pack with the BLX4R, it works just as well as a BLX handheld, which this is not, because I don't have one with me like I explained, but they work just the same. That's about all I have to say about the bass. Of course, it is rack mountable, so if that's a feature you're looking for, definitely spend the money on this one over the regular BLX4. This also has a fancier LCD and things like that, and it looks nicer and cleaner and things, but I'm really looking at this from a technical perspective. I want to move on to this BLX1. I discussed how it worked very well for me on Sunday in a large church. It was about 100 feet from where the pastors, I'll call them, were sitting or standing when they were doing the service. And these worked flawlessly. For DJing, wedding ceremonies, they're awesome. Super simple. There's really no way for your customer or a bride or a officiant or something to screw it up, because all of the setting details are inside this cover and they're likely not going to open that, whereas something like a ULXP, and you can actually see it on this mic here, it's actually all on the outside. Of course, the on-off switch is on the outside here, and there's a little light to see if it's on. It's also a plastic construction. It's a little bit of a cheap plastic. I mean, it holds up fine. I have dealt with high schoolers using these that drop them plenty of times, and they do hold up. Also, super easy to set up. If you're looking for something that's kind of entry level or something, it's very easy. You set it to like B1 and B1 on the receiver, and it's just group and channel. You hit the group until you get to the one you want. You hit the channel until you get to the one you want. Additionally, you can see in here, I'll try and show you, there's a little bit of foam that protects the batteries, which is a good design thing that they have going on there. Other than that, there's not much to talk about. There is this little clip on the back. I've found that it comes out quite easily, and sometimes if you're doing a play, they can come out really easily and get lost, which is a bit of a downside, but seriously, at the price that these things are, they're really just awesome. So please pardon my mess. I wanted to show you, I just got my PG58 handheld for the BLX back. I just wanted to show you what it looks like. Here's turning it on. You just press and hold till you see the green light. There's none of those other buttons on the outside that the other mic had. And that LED just goes red when it's about to die. And also wanted to show you the inside. When it's on, it just shows you the channel and all that stuff. And then it just takes two double A's. Super easy. As for the construction of the PG series microphones, it is a little bit on the cheap side. Similar to the BLX, it doesn't have a lot of weight, which is, depending on how you want to argue it, good or bad. For me, it's fine. Right after I got these mics, actually, this was about 3 years ago, so I've had a lot of experience with these mics. I did sound for a wedding that had hired a vocal trio. So I had 3 of these microphones. These singers absolutely loved them. I personally think it sounds very good. And prior to having that, I had a Gemini system that sounded like trash. It was a lot cheaper, but I'd say probably worth double the money to step up to the Shure. These microphones are also super easy to rack mount. I do have 2 mounted next to each other within my audio rack, and I mean, it's a very simple process. It's like 4 screws. I'll show you. It's 4 screws on the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 on the bottom. Rack mount is very easy. I'll grab that. So I have a spare kit hanging around. Just kind of goes on like that. Mount it in. Very easy. And you'll see there's this little stopper here, if you can see it. Yeah, there you go. And this can actually come out, and you can put the antenna through here, and it comes with all the accessories and wiring and things you need for that. So here is an example of one with the extender wire to go to from the back to the front, and you have a little piece that goes through, and then you can just put your antenna on the same way. I've never had any issues with these. Now, I typically don't like leaving batteries in mics overnight, but I found that leaving them in these, they still last for a long time. One unfortunate downside is that these don't have a battery meter that shows you how much, like 3 little chunks of how long you have left on the battery, which is a downside. They only show like a red LED when the battery is low. I'd say you probably have an hour on a low battery before it dies off. If you're manually turning it on and off, you can probably get through a 4-hour show on a dead battery, or almost dead battery. If you're just leaving it running you probably have an hour on that battery that's dead. And I got to experience that on Sunday. But these mics are very efficient on batteries. I go through probably 10 to 20 DJ gigs on 2 AA's. So it's time to wrap this video up. I have discussed quality and all these different things. So what's my overall feel about these microphones? Well, at $400 to $450, they're a very good mic. And also you can usually find these used online at a pretty good deal. I paid $215 for a basically brand new one, which was this and this body pack, and also of course power and antennas and the rack mounts and everything, as well as the lav mic, which is the W93 here, if you want to take a look at that. And it also came with the little foam windscreen for it. So you can get these at an awesome price if you buy them used too. I'm sure KPO DJ could hook you up with a good price, especially if you buy more than one. It's certainly good if you're going to have like 2 or 3 of these in your arsenal. If you're doing DJing, especially if you're doing weddings, I'd probably have 3. One for inside, one for a ceremony, and then one as a backup. Or maybe even you want to use 2 for a ceremony. I don't know how you like doing things. Not going to go into that. I'd certainly give this 5 stars. 100% worth the money. This is a great value mic. Very high quality, especially for the price. I don't even want to really drag the price into this because just on its own, I'd say this is more mic than what you pay for even if you buy it new without a discount. I really like this mic. I don't have any plans on selling them anytime soon. That's going to wrap this video up. I'll see you in the next one, but until next time, peace.